At least 14 people were arrested for civil disobedience today as hundreds of protesters rallied in New Orleans while attorneys battle over immigration reform. Immigrant families say their lives have been in turmoil while the future of the reform is held up in court.
And they also claim they're being mistreated and unlawfully detained by federal and local law enforcement. Reporter Casey Ferrand is live with what happened in and out of court today. Casey.
Guys, rallies were held here at the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals as well as the ICE regional headquarters on Loyola and Gutiérrez as immigrants are fighting for justice. This is all happening as 26 states are taking the federal government to court over immigration reform. Hundreds of protesters chanted on the steps of the courthouse fighting to keep immigrant families together.
We are part of this city. We are helped to rebuild this city after the Hurricane Katrina. So we want to remind here, it's our city.
It's estimated some 4.2 million undocumented workers and their families are living in fear of deportation.
It's really bad because sometimes I start crying because I'm scared that I might come home from school one day and my mom is not there. I'm scared.
Attorneys for Texas and 25 other states are suing to block President Barack Obama's immigration programs, which would expand protections on children brought to America illegally and give protections to parents of children born here.
All workers in America, regardless of their immigration status, should be protected by one set of laws. Because I don't want to walk into a hotel room where somebody is exploited that made my bed.
Democratic U.S. Congressman Luis Gutiérrez says millions of undocumented immigrant workers are living in slavery.
They keep saying they're for eliminating illegal immigration. But the guy in there said Barack Obama can keep you here as long as they're illegal, as long as they don't have a status, as long as they don't have any protection of the law. They should be ashamed of themselves making those kind of arguments of modern day slavery in the United States of America.
Advocates argue each day that immigration reform is tied up in the courts. Hundreds more families are permanently separated and millions of dollars in tax revenue are lost. Now, there was no decision made at the hearing today, but attorneys for both sides said they expect to have some type of word from the judges here at the Fifth Circuit Court by the next month or in the coming weeks. On your side, I'm Casey Ferrand, WDSU News.
Thanks, Casey. And this immigration debate has dominated the Republican presidential campaign. Donald Trump's comments on Mexican immigrants and his repeated interviews on the subject continue to put the Republican brand into the spotlight. Jeb Bush, whose wife is from Mexico, has sharply criticized Trump's comments, but he hasn't backed away from his stance on immigration. The Republican Party is certainly worried about the effect of Trump's comments.
My party is in a hole with Hispanics. The first rule of politics when you're in a hole is stop digging. Somebody needs to take a shovel out of Donald Trump's hands.
A source says the Republican National Committee chairman called Trump Wednesday, expressing his concerns about his tone when talking about undocumented workers.
From Commitment 20.